Man, do I feel like crap. Man, do I really feel like garbage this morning. I didn't sleep at all. Oh, I just put eye drops in my eyes because I feel like my eyes are on fire. I didn't sleep. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, do I got a pounding headache. I really did not sleep all night last night, just thinking about stuff. Sorry, guys, just bear with me. I'm half asleep. I didn't sleep all night, man. You know, I'm happy my buddy and my neighbor came over last night, but my God. I really did not sleep. I feel like my eyes are coming out of my head. Very sad. Very sad indeed. Very sad indeed. Yeah, I tried to read the good book, see if I can get some answers, especially for this. Very sad. Very sad situation. You know, I'm the bad guy, for getting cheated on, for taking care of this woman like the way I did. And then I get a threat by this man because I'm the good guy. How does that, in what logical world does this work? In what logical world does this work? You know, this is like one of those times where I'm questioning my faith again. You know, I'm happy when my neighbors come over and stuff like that, at least the good ones when they come on by and spend some time with me. You know, the old timer that was here last night, he's missing all of his front teeth and he gets feisty when you start talking about politics. It's one of his favorite subjects. And me, I can go on forever with it. But it's just very, very sad. Again, like this drama, like this black thundercloud that continuously hangs over me. It's sad that this man, that I took care of this woman right here. I don't know. What's up, Fuzz? I haven't seen you in a while. Let me do something for you. Let me make you a mod. I've been making all my return viewers in the same faces that I know moderators. But this I can't believe. I can't believe this. So I'm the bad guy for taking care of this woman just to have this one cheat on me again and then publicly threaten me. None of it makes sense. None of it makes a lick of sense. It doesn't make sense. I've been wrestling with this all night long. I mean, I barely slept, or at least I tried to sleep and I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. I tried. Well, I actually looked at the account. There's no avatar. It was created 6 months ago. I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. And even if it is, it's just why? Like what's the purpose? What's the point? What's the point of it? It just doesn't make sense, man. I tried watching TV. I tried to put myself to bed. I was going to take medication to help me sleep, but I was drinking all night with my buddy last night when he was here. And I tried to put myself to sleep and couldn't do it. Yeah, maybe it's possible, but even still, it's just like what's the fucking point? What's the modus operandi? It doesn't make sense. Let me see something here. Anyway, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. You know, and whatever stuff I have left from her is sitting right here, right by my feet. The social worker's office is closed on Sundays. I got to wait until tomorrow. I'll walk this stuff over there and drop it off and get it out of my home. It's sad. It's very sad that this stuff continues to fester. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, Fuzz. I don't know, man. The point is just why? Like, what's the fucking point behind it? What's the reasoning behind it? What logical reason is there for all of this shit to happen? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Hey, Jeremy, that's a rare name in my chat. Let me throw you a mod as well. Let me throw you a mod as well. Yeah, I tried looking at the good book. I started watching like religious videos on YouTube and stuff, and just I'm really questioning my faith right now, man. It's sick. It's really sick. This is again, I'm having to question my faith because like what's the purpose and what's the point? Women will date three guys at once just to feel out who they like the most, and they won't even tell you they're doing it. You know, I'm fed up with it. Here it is again, the third time. I can't believe it. Like, still. And then to have to deal with the fallout from that, it's like, you know, I look at my baseball card business here. I look at my eBay business, you know, whatever orders I had, I sent out, by the way. It's hard, man. It's really, really hard to get a grasp on this stuff. Why people do the things they do. I wish I knew. I wish I had the answers. It can't be God. It can't be Jesus. It can't be God. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I wish I knew. And it's been racking my brain. You know, I go through Proverbs. I went into the book of Genesis with original sin and all that kind of stuff with Adam and Eve. And, you know, I looked through the book of Matthew for a little bit. It's just like, man, I just I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I wish I did. I have no answers and no explanation. You know, like the fellow that came up here last night that kept me company. He knows I was live streaming into it. He always tells me whenever I see you sitting at your chair, I know what you're doing. I knew when she came into the picture, you'd have nothing but problems with her. Drama like this follows people like her around. You're better than that. Everybody, you know, I really appreciate you guys, like, you know, the kind words and stuff like that, man. It's just, you know, going through it sucks. You know, I don't know what to make of any of it. You know, at least I had company over last night, which is awesome. And my dude Shaky he wasn't I know, I mean, I offered him some of those plantains I fried up, but you won't find the answer in God. This is just the world we live in. I know it sucks. What's up? Good morning, Penny. I appreciate you guys showing up this morning. Yeah, again, I didn't sleep all night long. I couldn't sleep at all. I tried, man. All I did was roll around in bed, going through YouTube, trying to read the Bible, all that stuff, man. I'm trying to find some kind of answers to like why this stuff constantly happens. It's just, you know, I'm worn out, man. You know, behind the scenes, when I'm done with all the eBay stuff, I'm done with the YouTube stuff, I'm just worn out from all of it. What the hell is this here? Oh, it's a coupon. I'm just wore out from all of it, man. I really am. Let me at least open up the door so I get some fresh air in here. Oh, it's nice and cool outside. Alexa, what's the current temperature?
Good morning, Walter. Right now, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
You got to stop going after these Latino women. I'm telling you, bro, get a nice Asian girl. They won't do you like this. You know, you reach a point where it's just like, you know, you want to throw in the towel and give up. It's a construction of the world we built. People do these things for survival. They don't value tradition or morale. You know, like even last night, man, I didn't have to let, you know, my buddy Shaky in here, and I did anyways. Even while I was live streaming with you folks last night, because that's who I am, man. I know my dad was a bit of an asshole when he was alive, but you know, he was an asshole for his reasons. You know, he didn't grow up with his dad. His dad died in a freak accident when he was a kid. You know, he was forced to move to a city that he fucking hated to the day he died. And when he lost his job in the 80s, it fucked him all up. But the one thing that he instilled in me is just be as realistic as you can. People are going to hate you for being realistic. And a few times I saw him in Pennsylvania when he was in his hometown in Central City. When he went back home to where he grew up, he was a completely different guy. He was a whole different man. I never seen my father so happy. That's when I moved here and I learned how the people are around here. He always said, you know, treat your neighbors well. You know, when you go to somebody's home, if they ask you to come over to their home, like even Shaky, you know, he brought beer last night too. I didn't take his beer because he doesn't have a lot of money. I don't really take his beer. He tries though. But you know, you have courtesy, you have dignity, you have decency. I tried to be like that in New York City, and they wouldn't allow it. You know, like the people there, they don't know where courtesy is, and people would shit on me for being a nice guy. You know, it's awful, man. Thank you, excuse me, pardon me, forgive me, my bad, my fault. Yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, you're welcome. Simple little things like that. My dad, in his own way, taught me well, maybe a little too well. As to this day, my expectation for people to behave a certain way, that's the problem with that expectation, because when you don't get things or have things happen the way you hope it would, man, the fucking end result is chaos and disaster and catastrophe, you know? What's going on, David? How you doing? That's a new name in the chat I haven't seen before. Yeah, man, it's rough. It's rough. It's rougher than I thought it was going to be, you know? Because it just like this shit, you know, I try to give people a benefit of the doubt. Come on, guys, it's Sunday. It's God's day. That's why I chose the thumbnail that I did for this live stream. you know, I'm questioning everything this morning. Like I said, I didn't sleep, man. Albeit I do have a pretty significant hangover. You know, I was tanking him down pretty good last night when Shaky was up here. He's a feisty old fuck, and he means well. He's a nice guy. He don't bother nobody. Once he gets into politics, though, it's like there's no stopping him. He's a 70-year-old bulldozer with politics. But he means well, man. Like I said, he buys like that dirt cheap beer. Yeah, I've got prescription medicine that I take to help me sleep. It's just because I drank last night, I didn't take it because that's no good for you to do things like that. But it's just, you know, all the things I've been thinking about and all the things I talked about yesterday, and this dumb shit with this. And then having this pointed out to me that whoever this was actually posted this bullshit threat against me. And I think I proved my point in that live stream that I am not to be screwed with. But it's just even having, like, I watched myself a little bit in that live stream from yesterday, and I'm like, I hate being like that. I hate being like that. It's like a forced dichotomy almost, where, you know, I'm constantly having to fucking fend off bad people. And this woman is a bad woman. I really thought she'd be different. I was hoping so much that this one would be different. You know, when I first met her, it's about what, almost 2 months we were together, something like that. And just all of a sudden, on a drop of a dime. Yeah, I did that last night in last night's live stream. I called out, you know, the account. And apparently that's the face attached to the account. That's the cheater right there. That's the cheater. I took care of her son. I took care of her. I did all that good stuff. And what did I get in return? I got cheated on again. It's awful, man. There's really, honestly, Fuzz, I still have no explanation as to why. It's like with Jenny, it's the same thing. There's just no rhyme or reason why this woman cheated on me. Why this one cheated on me. I don't know. She was here in my home, what, last Monday, whatever it was. So it's very, very confusing to me. Like, you know, you could do so much good for somebody. We never argued or fought. I mean, she cried once because, you know, I really felt for her because she was under a lot of stress because of the father of her kids. And then, like I said, I tried my best. And she was here, and then she took that clothing off my clothing rack. Yeah, I know. I know, Penny. You don't got to tell me, man. You don't got to tell me. It's just fucking awful, man. I don't even know what to think. I really don't know what to think. And I hate seeing myself like the way I was on camera last night. I'm not going to take that live stream down or anything. That's going to stay up, but yeah, but that was a dumpster fire too, unfortunately. They were all dumpster fires, every one of them. Every single one of them. You know, most of them want a guy that stays home. That's what I do. Most of them want a guy that makes money. That's what I do. Yeah, I mean, you know, with all the hobby stuff and all the escapism that I do have, man, it's just reality and the hobbies that I talk about here on the channel and some of the things I discuss just constantly collide with each other. Just constantly collides and clashes with what I'm trying to accomplish with this channel. It's just like it's one step forward and three steps back. No, I can't catch a break. I can't catch a break. I wish I could. I wish I can catch a break. So all I've tried to do is catch a break. Since all that stuff started last year, for whatever bizarre reason, why all that shit happened, it still seems to not. It still seems to not want to end. Man, this time I really thought it was going to be different because she would come here and cook. I didn't think her modus operandi was to fucking use me at the end of the day. Just to find out. And I got to thank my sister for finding this. It's so fucked up. I can't even look at this shit no more, man. It's devastating. She's not that much younger than I am. And I know her birthday was a couple weeks ago, as a matter of fact, but she's not that much younger than I am. Yeah, I feel like I'm in. Thank you, Penny. Exactly. I feel like a used piece of chewing gum. It's very, very sad. Very sad state of affairs. It really is. Yeah, and I had that woman and her kid up on my patio. I just thought of something. I didn't realize this until now. I just remembered now that I'm talking about it. I didn't even think about this last night. That's her blanket that we had out in the patio when her son was here the last time. That's got to be given away too to the social worker that's here on the property. I completely forgot that was here. I mean, I got enough blankets for myself. I don't want it here. It's really not fair. I am worn out. Very worn out. You know, Robin Williams said it the best when he was alive. You know, you can have all the things in the world, you can have all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, if you're not happy, you're not happy, or something to that effect. I'm just paraphrasing roughly. Cheating can ruin families for good. It's dangerous, not just to relationships. How true. How true. I feel like, there are days like this, mornings like this, and times like this where I feel like I can't even fucking breathe without something going wrong. Man, when she was here in the beginning, when her and I first met, she was here cooking up a storm, and we did picnics together and everything, man. I had no idea that this was happening, that this was going to happen. I had no idea. I really didn't think she would do this to me. Oh, I got such a fucking headache. I just took four aspirin. I took. My body's built up such a tolerance for aspirin because I take it more for you know more for health reasons than anything. It's an old school way of maintaining your blood pressure and all that stuff, keeping the cholesterol down. The only thing that takes a headache away is a little bit of caffeine from the energy drinks and some aspirin. So fucking sad. It's so sad. That's that picnic, that rock and roll picnic that we did right at Freedom Park, the two of us. I thought she was just doesn't make fucking sense. None of it makes sense. I don't deserve this, man. Since last year, it's like it's a nonstop, endless gauntlet of just fucking stuff that's completely out of my hands and out of control. It's just these women today. They're fucking vile and vicious. I mean, not every woman is a bad woman, but a lot of them are just fucking vicious, man. And that's why I've been questioning my faith. You look at the book of Genesis with the creation of man, and Jesus in his infinite wisdom, or God in his infinite wisdom, I should say, excuse me, created a female using a rib from Adam. And look what we got. Look what we have. Or at least look what I ended up, the fucking table scraps. That's what I feel like. I feel like table scraps. Yeah, we live in a society where women are taught to no longer respect men. I see that kind of stuff all over social media and all over YouTube. Cosmic Verse, Alpha Male Central. Um, there's a couple of them YouTube channels I watch. What's going on, Marcus? How you doing? Jesus loves you. I appreciate that. Much appreciated. How did it go from this to this with her cheating on me? How did this happen? And for what reason? What purpose? With that very blanket that you just looked at, we were outside playing with her son. I treated her son like he was my own kid. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it, David. That's exactly it. This is her right here in my home. She's got 2 Facebook pages. One of them has this photo that she took in my home. And here's the fucking threat that Penny found that I didn't even know was posted until last night. Now, whether if this is the same person or not, I don't know. But yet, I'm the bad guy, right? I cooked for that woman. I took her on picnics. I drove her wherever she wanted. I bought her perfume. I did all this cool stuff, man. When she would fall asleep, I'd babysit her son and take the kid on a walk. And that's the hardest part, man. That's the hardest part is the kid. There are a lot of men out there that don't want to raise another man's kid. That's the hardest part, the most difficult part that I'm finding in all of this, because I actually really was starting to really admire that kid. The times I pick him up out of his mom's hands, he would look me straight in my eye like this, because he's a boy, you know. I goof around with him, and he would start laughing and chuckling, and I tickle him, and he'd laugh, you know. Yeah, I don't know, Fuzz. Honestly, I really don't know. Did she leave you for that guy, or was she just dating you both at once? I don't know. I don't know. I have no answers. I have no answers. That's plain stupidity, not courage from that guy. I agree. I agree 100%. I don't know. I have no answers in any of this. I have no answers. And see, that's another problem right there. It's punishment to the kid. I agree, Penny. Dude, the kid probably has looked at 50 guys in the eyes, and he probably like, which one is my daddy? Maybe you just make her choose, and she might choose. If that's one thing about me, you betray me, you're done. With me, you only get one chance, and that's it. My days of forgiving people are over. They've been over for a long time, with the exception of my father before he died. There were things that him and I'm not going to discuss our conversations. That's between my dad and myself. That goes with me to my grave. But he's the only one I would ever forgive. Because at least he was honest with a lot of things with me between him and I. He knows that. But after that, you get one chance with me, and that's it. Betray me, and it's over. I take betrayal very seriously. Either you're with me or you're not. There is no in between. That's one thing about myself. I'm very pragmatic that way. You're either with me or you're not. It's that simple. Well, that's exactly it, Penny. It's just people can't deal with reality. They don't want to accept reality. I mean, how much more reality can I deal with? You know that more than anybody in this chat. If she did it, she'll do it to me. I hear you, bro. Good call. Honesty. Yeah, I mean, you guys seem to know where I'm coming from with all this, and I appreciate that. It's so fucked up, man. I keep. Yeah, you're lucky at least you woke up. I didn't sleep a wink, man. Like I said, I was rolling around in bed, staring at the ceiling, going through my Fire Stick, watching Star Trek stuff, and then I started, watching religious stuff, and turn the TV off, turn the TV back on, then I watched stuff on my phone. I just didn't sleep. Very sad, folks. Very sad situation that this continues to fucking haunt me with this stuff. It just doesn't stop. This fucking dark thunder cloud that's been hanging over me just won't fucking dissipate and won't go away. I keep looking at my father's photo here. Let me fix this. I hate the fact that that thing leans over whenever it wants to. Alcohol will only make you feel worse in the end, though. Well, I mean, yesterday I had company come over here. You know, last night, one of my neighbors and buddies, one of the old timers that's here, he's not one of the have nots, came up here and we were bullshitting on camera. I didn't show his face or anything to respect his privacy, but we were in my kitchen there bullshitting. I fried up some plantains. He didn't like them. He ate like 2 or 3 pieces and he didn't like them. You know, he's a feisty old timer, but he means well. He don't bother nobody. If they double down on it, just wait. They'll cheat on each other pretty soon. It's fucking Sodom and Gomorrah, man. That's what this whole conversation in the chat and what I'm talking about, it adds up to, man. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. It's the reason why God flooded the planet and told Noah to build a freaking ark. That's why when Nimrod climbed a tower and shot an arrow into the fucking sky, humanity split off. And that's why we got all these languages, at least according to religion, according to the Bible. Thanks, Nimrod. That's where that term came from. Yeah, you freaking Nimrod. Where do you think it came from? It came from the Bible, because he wanted to shoot an arrow up into fucking heaven. And God said, oh, really? It's like Cain and Abel, another Bible story. It's like we're waiting for a global disaster to reset things. Women are just slaves to their impulses these days. No loyalty. Yep, true Penny, a reset is a must, sadly. I agree. And I'm not talking about this ridiculous political reset. I mean, we're talking like a fucking religious and godly reset. It needs to happen. It has to happen. I agree. Because from my point of view, with everything I've been through and continue to go through, especially in the last more than a decade now with the things I've gone through, and thank God I have enough intelligence and wisdom to fend off a lot of these things, especially like what happened with Jenny, having me falsely arrested for no reason, making up fucking false claims and bullshit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm talking earth-shattering, earthquake, flood, lightning bolts. I'm talking about, raining fire, man. It has to happen. No, I'm not talking about the political great reset. I'm talking like a religious reset. The slate needs to be wiped clean, man. There's too much freaking evil in this world. Yeah, actually, as far as the channel is concerned, I'm that close to 1,700 subs at this point. I think at last count, I was at 1,690. I gained a couple more subs over the past couple days, as a matter of fact. So, but right now, I just don't care about the numbers, man. I really don't care about the numbers. It's just this thing that my eyes are so fucking red pilled and black pilled at this point. Like I'm really black. I think I'm more black pill than anything. It's not even a red pill. It's a black pill. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there little by little. Yep, I'm becoming more and more and more cynical as time goes on. It just seems like the fucking world around me is just getting worse and worse and worse. And it tries to draw me into its nonsense, and I just don't want it. After, when God showed up in the form of 3 angels before the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, I forgot who it was that he told, don't turn around. Whatever you do, don't turn around and don't look back. If you look back, you're dead, basically. And I think it was this dude's daughter or his wife that turned around and looked at Sodom and Gomorrah when it was being destroyed, and she turned to stone. All your traumas turn into nihilism. Man, that's a word I haven't never had spoken out loud until this moment. Wow, nihilism, being a nihilist, I guess so. Yeah, bro, the world at large is moving in a very totalitarian direction, and it's having an effect on how the average person acts. Lack of any kind of identity these days. Yeah, there's no ethics, there's no morals. If you're somebody who tries to walk the straight and narrow, I mean, like myself, I've been falsely accused of being a fucking cheater and a racist and this and that because I criticize and I question everything I see. I question everything I hear. I question everything I look at. I question people's behavior, and that makes me a bad guy because I'm able to identify what people are doing wrong, at least from what I was taught and what's in that good book. Yeah, David, I've tried that. I'm walking that fine dichotomy between emotion and logic, unfortunately, these days, where it's ever more becoming I'm becoming ever more cynical and more cynical. People hate a man who marches to the beat of his own drum. Well, that's true. That is true. When you start doing all that kind of stuff, man, and patting yourself on the back, and I don't like doing that kind of thing. I never did. Sometimes I'm forced into it because when people start challenging me with things and accusing me of things, and they refuse to open up their eyes, and they refuse to put the mirror in their face and look at themselves for what they are. And I'm one of those guys that points it out because at the end of the day, man, I've always been one of those people. Like, even as a kid, there were times like I would go up to the roof of my parents' building in a building complex where I grew up just to find solace, to get away from people. As a kid, in all honesty, I was bullied considerably as a kid until one day I finally stood up against one of my bullies and jumped on him and just started hammering him. John Bowden was his name. Older and bigger than I was, but I hopped on him like a fucking frog and just started pounding on the guy. So I couldn't take it no more. Normies just get mad that you're self employed while they're a slave to the grind. Well, I mean, in all honesty, if it wasn't for if it really, I give my father credit because his photo's right there and he knows this. I give him a lot of credit. I mean, I did have a love hate relationship with union construction because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have anything that I have now. But even the building trades at that time, I'm part of that generation. Like in schools, for example, you got to worry about kids walking into school with guns these days. They never pat us down as kids. They never had fucking metal detectors in school in New York City when I was a kid. They never had electronic wands to wand you down looking for weapons and knives and shit. We didn't have fucking ebonics. We didn't have liberal arts. We had fucking wood shop. You know what I mean? It's a negative environment. I had to leave or get negative people out. Yeah. Yeah, Columbine changed that. Oh, the trench coat mafia, whatever they call themselves. Well, you know what it is, man? Is you got the fucking cool kids on the handball court versus the dorks, the nerds, and the skateboarders and the heavy metal kids. All the prophets in the Bible, they had to leave their environment at one time. Yeah, Jesus had he fled. Moses was put into a reed basket or something like that and pushed down river because Ramses, the Pharaoh Ramses, or at least his father. I forgot what Ramses' father's name was until Moses was raised by the Pharaoh prior to Ramses was saved from infanticide. A good point. That's wild. I think video games play a big part of the derangement of youth today. The games these days are realistic and they go on virtual killing sprees. Well, it's a little bit more than that. It's just kids don't go outside, they don't play. There you go. I don't want to keep ringing it because it's too early in the morning yet. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. But that's part of it. It's like the kids around here, they don't play with each other anymore because of one stupid thing that one kid did. Now they all don't play with each other anymore. I don't see them running around. I don't see them doing anything anymore. You know, when the one girl got caught vaping, I think she's like, what, 13, 14 years old, and she was vaping. And that caused a civil war with all these kids. I used to work a media store, and parents would buy little 5-year-olds Call of Duty and shit. Adult kids are consumed by video games, social media, and Pokemon. I agree with it all, man. See, I said this in one of my videos recently, talking about grown men complaining about Transformers toys. If you watch that video, you'll hear me blatantly say it. It's if you're my age, if you're between the ages of 20 and 50, and you collect this type of stuff and you're complaining about toys, you're the problem. It's a fucking toy. I mean, not for nothing. I'm not sitting on my carpet going pew, 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 playing Autobot and Decepticon. I collect these because I grew up with these. They're nice little knickknacks to fuss around with for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I put them back on my desk or up on my shelves and go back to being adult, cooking myself meals, paying the bills. Oh, his shoulders are purple. That's going to stick around for a while, man. I coined that, by the way. And guys are still bitching about it on YouTube, about that fucking Skywarp. It's shameful, isn't it? Do like what I did. Slap a couple stickers on it. Problem solved. What's the big deal? It's so ridiculous, man. The shoulders are purple. Classic me. Nah, bro, it's just emotional escape for people like adults who get mad about sports teams and stuff. It's juvenile. But it gets their mind off of their own problems. I had addicts around me, jealousy, sociopaths. I made peace with the fact that I can't change them, but I can leave to improve myself. Let me tell you, years ago, Penny will tell you about this because I used to talk about this, and I don't mind talking about it. I'm very open about it. Way back when I was still working in construction, I had a huge problem with painkillers. When you work in union construction, man, there's no such thing as light work. You're putting 100% of your physicality behind it. And it's not just your body, it's your mind too, because you have to understand math and science. You also have to be a good diplomat on the job, especially when you're working with foremans on multi-million-dollar jobs and stuff like that. So in order for me to continue to function, unfortunately, because of the issues with my back, I got addicted to painkillers. And then things were starting to fall apart with, the mother of my kids, rightfully so. Because, after I lost my career, I started drinking a lot more. I gained a ton of weight. I didn't care. I phoned it in, and I started taking painkillers again and again, even after I officially retired and got put on fucking permanent disability because of all that stuff. Not just the 9/11 stuff, but the damage to my back that was done after all them years. I got pretty hopelessly addicted to painkillers, taking Vicodin. And my favorite was Percocet, 5/3/25s. I was taking like 6 or 8 of them at a time, to the point where I went cold turkey, and I started fucking withdrawing from that, man. Let me tell you, that withdrawal, it's everything. It's every much as scary as you think it would be. And I put myself voluntarily into 6 months of outpatient. And all the people that you see in there are just like what you see at a street corner begging for change. All fucking bums, no teeth in their mouth, frizzy, fucked up long hair, holes in their fucking pants and shoes. Some of them reeking of booze. And I went 3 times a week doing the PP tests, random PP tests, all that stuff, man. I'm lucky I even take aspirin anymore. That's why you guys see me taking all them supplements to this day, man. And that's why I lost all that weight, because after all them years, we're talking, God, man, what, fucking 15 years ago, I think I stopped all that shit, something like that, whenever it was. But, you know, I look at that now and I have a huge stigma when I see people like that, when I see people begging in the street, especially around here with the fucking fentanyl stuff that's going on. I won't hand them a dime. Knowing what I went through with that stuff, you know, I mean, I drink now for fun. I stay home. I don't go to bars. I stay on my patio or I hang out with my neighbors. That's it. But back then I was drinking because I was feeling sorry for myself. Just like my dad before me, you know, he was his job. That's how he identified himself. He was a working man. He liked making money. He loved the job. Even before the Alzheimer's or the dementia or whatever the fuck it was that he suffered with, and the bladder cancer and everything else that he had before he died. Let me tell you, he was plumbing, man. He ate and drank fucking plumbing. It was his entire life. It's the one thing that he was good at. And it was taken from him. And when he retired, I think it was the worst thing that ever happened to him. That's when he really fell apart. You know, unfortunately, his body was, because you got to realize guys from his era were working with heavy duty cast iron and galvanized pipe and fucking, now they got that press pipe and PEX pipe and all this easy shit and PVC. And he's one of them old schoolers that used to work with fucking lead and oakum and extra heavy cast iron and screw pipe and working with fucking wrenches. You know, he came up very old school. Now I see some of the plumbing on YouTube that these guys are doing with the fucking the press fittings and stuff. I'm actually impressed by it, but it's like, holy shit, where was that when I was a plumber? Like one man can knock out probably a couple 100 feet of plumbing by himself. But that was it. That was his whole life, was plumbing, man. That's all he knew. And he was damn good at it too. And when he taught whatever little he taught me, when he got me into the business, I was running circles around most of the apprentices. I mean, I didn't understand the codes I was very snot-nosed on the job. Anybody that worked with me and raised me as an apprentice in Plumbers Local 1 will tell you, I was a know-it-all, snot-nosed, egotistical, I can do everything type of guy. I was very, very, how can I put this? Like, I wanted to get in there. I wanted to be a journeyman. I really did, man. I was very ambitious, maybe a little too ambitious for my own good, but I was a snot-nosed, snobby, you know, just arrogant kid in the business. Hey, but I ended up turning out as a journeyman anyway. I put 13 years into the business until I got all fucked up. Not just from the job, but all that chemical stew I breathed in and touched and handled at that trade center site, man. That was the end of it. You know, and in a way, you know, a part of me died because of that. I was making good money. You know, the money I'm getting now, let me tell you, there are adults that work all their life that wouldn't even get a tenth of what I get. So, but a part of me died. I started drinking a lot, more than I should have. I look at photos of myself, even photos that my mom sends to me sometimes that she finds. My neck is fucking swollen and fat. My belly's sticking out. I finally had enough of looking at myself in the mirror, looking at how unhealthy I am. I mean, you know, you could see my face, how nice and healthy and tight everything is now. You know, I take supplements almost every day. I take amino acids and protein and testosterone boosters and natural testosterone boosters, by the way. And I really take care of myself. And every so often, like last night or the day before when I uploaded that YouTube short with all the food I cooked for myself, I work hard to maintain my body now, man. I don't want to end up with no fucking teeth in my mouth. That's the one thing that my dad really, really was addicted to, was fucking smoking. I wish he didn't smoke the way he did. I hated it. But yeah, man, once I seen all those people, especially when you sit in the fucking circle and you're forced to stare at one another, it's all psychological, man. It's all scare tactics to get you to force yourself to look at yourself. And the few times I've been in the hospital and they've tried to give me fucking painkillers and Percocet, I outright refused. Tomcat. I actually take Tomcat. I take Tomcat, D-aspartic acid, and L-citrulline. I take all three at once, but I cycle through them because I don't want to be on overload. But that's one of the main reasons why I lost weight ever since I started natural test boosting. Yeah, I take Tomcat, I take L-citrulline, I take D-aspartic acid. L-arginine is also good for test boosting. I take that, and DHEA, which is a hormone. I also take that, but I take that separate from the other stuff that I take. Mostly B complex, or most not B complex. I'm sorry. Mostly separate B vitamins. I take P5P, which is B6. All right, Fuzz. Take care, man. Be safe, dude. Thanks for showing up like always. But I take separate vitamins and supplements from to manage my blood sugar and keep up my antioxidants. I take P5P, I take benfotiamine, I take R-alpha lipoic acid, I take astaxanthin, I take Hymenema sylvestre, um, I take algae-based DHA and EPA, all that kind of stuff. So the Tomcat works good. You can tell, man. Like my hair is, my hair growth. I mean, look at how long my hair is back here already. I shaved my head back in December, and this is about 7 months worth of growth over here. My fingernails growing quick. My facial hair grows in quick. My dad has been on HGH therapy for over 10 years. He's 68, but he looks jacked. Oh, you know what else? I started adding creatine monohydrate also to my supplementation, which is good for water retention and all that kind of stuff to balance out the pH in your body. That's really good stuff too. I got it right over here, as a matter of fact. I'll show you the stuff I take. Yeah, that's pretty much. This is pretty much all of it right here. Yeah, that's all. That's all the testosterone boosting I do. And even without working out, I mean, my definition has improved. You can actually see that I have abs, for God's sakes, without even having to do sit-ups, which is insane. So that's L-citrulline right there that I take. That's a good natural test booster. It's supposed to be better than D-aspartic acid, which I also take, which is right here, by the way. That's Tomcat, like you were talking about. I take that also as a test boosting regimen. There's the L-arginine that I take, and DHEA. Not for nothing, like I said, I lost all that weight just by supplementation and changing my diet, eating a lot more tuna, doing away with the white bread, and eating junk food. And every so often I may have takeout, and that's rare and very few and far between. Like I've shown on camera a couple times, when I would do my driving live streams in my car, I'd pick up Taco Bell or good pizza like Empire Pizza, which is right here, is pretty good. Yeah, they're all good stuff, but I cycle through it. I'll take it once every 2 days, once every 3 days, because you don't want your body to be on overload. Nah, I'm nobody, man. I mean, I'm not one of them guys that's looking for this. I try not to convey that type of thing. It's just that's what I do, you know. I'm no expert or anything like that. It's just that's what works for me. I mean, I don't even work out. I used to walk a lot. I stopped walking because of another woman that cheated on me at the beginning of this year around Valentine's Day, but I don't even work out. This is what my body looks like without working out. I used to be 285 to 290 pounds. Now I've been holding anywhere. Actually, the lowest I've got recently was 187 or something like that. So I'm floating technically between 187 and 195 pounds at any given time, depending on what I eat. But this is without working out. This is with all them compounds I take, and plus all the supplements. And I got my vices. Like I drink like sugar-free drinks. I drink a lot of sugar-free stuff. Like the sugar-free Red Bulls I drink. I drink sugar-free cranberry juice. I drink sugar-free fruit punch from Ocean Spray, which is really good. I drink sugar-free Gatorade. I drink seltzer water, sugar-free ginger ale. Like I really went to the gusto, man. Yeah, I'm 49 years old. And compared to guys that are my age and older, they're fucking balding. Their teeth fell out of their mouth. Their beer bellies look like Elvis Presley up on stage in a karate suit. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is, even if I were to go walk, I bet you my stamina would be a lot better than most of those guys. But like I said, whatever definition I got is due to the test boosting, supplementing, and just sticking with my diet. You know, sometimes I'll get, watermelon, get chopped up watermelon. I'll get fruit trays from Walmart. I'll eat the whole damn tray. I try to keep the carb count down, but I drink a lot of liquids, man. I mean, not too much, but it's just, a lot of people don't seem to realize, man, it's not exercise, and people are sticking themselves with Ozempic and all this crazy shit to lose weight. A lot of it is getting the body to do what it's supposed to do, man. You know who's good to watch? Dr. Eric Berg. That's where I got a lot of my advice from, man. I've been watching his stuff for a long time. I was supplementing way before that when I discovered I got diagnosed with sarcoidosis from the World Trade Center, which basically means that your body's immune system tends to attack itself. But thanks to all the supplementation and all that kind of thing, I lost all that weight. My cholesterol dropped, my LDL cholesterol dropped, triglyceride count dropped. I mean, as I'm getting older, my eyesight is kind of shit. That's what I only started wearing reading glasses maybe 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even a little longer than that. And unfortunately, I guess because of all the junk food, I got diagnosed as being H1C, which means my blood sugar is high, unfortunately. So I have a bit of neuropathy in my toes, but, I have that under control because a lot of the supplements I take are meant for your nerves. Like I said, benfotiamine, R-alpha lipoic acid, P5P, which is B6, methylcobalamin, which is B12. Like I said, algae-based DHA and EPA. I don't take fish oil. I take the source of the fish's food, which is based on algae, which is a lot cleaner and a lot better. And like I said, I don't work out, and this is the result of that. For a guy my age, you wouldn't think I was almost 50 years old, you know what I mean? Because I take care of myself now. I try. But this is without working out. I mean, by right, I should really start. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he does. See, if I didn't supplement and take care of myself, I would end up looking just like that, like fucking Barney Rubble. What's going on there, Pope? Yeah, like I said, man, it depends on the type of food you eat and discipline. That's really what it is, man. Even without exercise, you can lose weight and keep yourself looking young and healthy for as long as humanly possible. You got to make the body do what the body's supposed to do without harsh medications. When I watch these commercials on TV or on YouTube promoting these fucking weight loss fucking medications, I'm like, you people are stupid, man. You're really fucking dumb. Because people don't want to put in the work. They don't want to put in the work. They want the easy way out. They want the magic pill, and that's not how it works, man. Most of the weight loss is due to changing my diet, cutting out the carbs, cutting out the sugar, all that kind of stuff. Even the energy drinks I drink are all sugar-free. I mean, by right, my doctors are telling me I should be drinking black coffee, but I can't stand coffee at all. It's not my thing. Even old-fashioned aspirin, man, just straight up old-fashioned aspirin. You take 1 or 2 of these a day, it's good for your fucking blood pressure. It keeps the cholesterol down. You know what I mean? But me as a man, as I'm getting older, your testosterone, your T levels drop. And since I started boosting with this stuff here, L-citrulline, Tomcat, DHEA, D-aspartic acid, L-arginine, And I just started this one not that long ago, creatine monohydrate. This is very specific creatine. The only thing that's really missing is whey protein. But I tend to eat meat and steak and fish and all that kind of stuff anyway, so it's really not necessary, but you still need old-fashioned protein, man. Like last night, before I tried to put myself to bed, I had a plate of like those really big sardines in a tomato sauce that unfortunately I bought for this one, but I happen to like them too. But eating sardines, tuna, you're like a walking experiment. Yeah, man, I've been Frankensteining for a while, bro. You know that better than anybody. You've been around for a long time with me, man. Yeah, I've been Frankensteining myself for a long, long time. You know, and over the years, I've learned a lot about supplementation. That certain vitamins, like here, B6, if you take um, what was it, pyridoxal HCl versus pyridoxine 5 phosphate, I believe it's called. It's the pyridoxine 5 phosphate. That's the good B6. The other one is actually toxic to your body. So all that B6 and B complex that they sell in CVS and Walgreens and all that shit is no good for you. Methylcobalamin is the B12 you should be taking. That's the natural B12. The one that they sell in the supermarkets is cyanocobalamin, I think it's called. Cyano is cyanide, which is poisonous to you. It's cheap. But everybody thinks B12, B this, B that. Well, that shit's toxic, man. I'll show you those bottles too, as a matter of fact. Give me a minute here. I'll bring out the whole box. And one of these is going to shock you, because a lot of research has been done on it, which is why I take it on very rare occasions. So I'll go through my supplementation. So you got to have potassium. Now this tells you one a day. I'll actually take 6 to 8 of these a day to what my body can tolerate, because you have to have potassium in your system. Here's NAC, N-acetylcysteine, great sulfur-based antioxidant. They were trying to ban this, by the way, because it works, especially when the Kung Flu virus came around. Now, here's something very specific, vitamin D3. I take 2 of these. Now, this is 10,000 IUs. You can actually take up to maybe 3,000 or 4,000 IUs, but I take 2 of these sometimes, especially if I'm indoors a lot. You need vitamin D for your immune system. But I take the broken down form of that, which is D3, which is a hormone, which is responsible for immune response. Dihydroberberine, which is good for blood sugar. This is the Ozempic alternative right here. It's natural. I've never had side effects. It's never hurt me or any of that kind of stuff. It's really good. Here's the vitamin B12 I take, methylcobalamin. Calcium, magnesium, and zinc. You got to have these. I take 3 at a time. Actually, that's the minimum dose that bottle actually recommends. Now, that's the algae-based DHA and EPA I take. Nordic makes really good stuff. I got a secondary bottle in my kitchen there if I ever wanted to take it. But this is really good stuff right here for omega-3. This is actually the source of why fish are such a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. It's because of the food that they eat. So I go right to the source, and this is actually more pure. It's not as potent, but it's more pure than your standard omega-3 fatty acids. Hymnema sylvester, or sylvestri, however you want to pronounce it. This is good for your blood sugar and reduces sugar cravings. P5P is what I was talking about. This is, I always forget, it's pyridoxal, so I'm wrong. No, I was right. So pyridoxine HCl is the toxic form of B6. Pyridoxal 5 phosphate is actually responsible for the myelin sheath that's around your nerves and helps to prevent nerve damage if you have already. And I take 3 or 4 of these a day because of the neuropathy. The neuropathy is kind of stopped and come to a screeching halt because I have it under both my feet a little bit, especially around the toes. But since I switched over to this, I've noticed a significant difference over the past few months. And actually, they use this as a treatment for people that have multiple sclerosis, which is nerve damage. Good stuff. Acetyl L-carnitine, good for the brain. This is definitely brain food. So is this stuff, by the way. Omega-3 fatty acids, good for the brain. Acetyl L-carnitine is also good for the brain. Astaxanthin, that's mostly refined cod oil, cod liver oil, whatever they call that stuff. Good for the eyes, good for the immune system, good for the heart. Expensive stuff. And then here's the combination that I take, R-alpha lipoic acid and benfotiamine, which is vitamin B1. Good for the nerves. And then on very rare occasion, because it's so expensive, I paid for this out of my pocket. Sildenafil or Hims, which is good for you know what, you know. Believe it or not, they've actually found out that sildenafil is good for people that have Alzheimer's and dementia because it does something in the brain. It helps with the nerves and helps with all that plaque. It slows it down a little bit. But apparently it's good for your for cognition, you know what I mean? So even though it's good for, you know, humpty-dumpty time, it's actually really good for your brain as well. So I take one of these twice a month, maybe 3 times a month at most. Or unless, of course, I'm engaged in the old hunka-chunka. But yeah, that's my supplementation. That's all of it. Now the testosterone stuff, like I said, I'll do once every 2 days, once every 3 days. You know, I tend to spread that out more than that. That I'll do every day or every other day because, you know, I really eat. Really good for cognition. Yes, it is. That's good stuff, man. Not that I'm blowing my own clarion horn, but since I started doing the test boosting, let me tell you, when it came time, past tense, my stamina, that's why, like with Maria here, the one that cheated on me, she would push me off of her because I would go for like 45 minutes to an hour and it would be too much for her. And she would push me off. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but it's a fact. Is it raining again? Is that what I'm hearing outside? Fuck, 3 or 4 straight days of rain. Yeah, it is. I can smell it too in the grass. It's raining again. I can't believe it. Holy cow. I had her tapping out. You know, again, it's a humble brag. I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but, you know, there would be 1 or 2 days, let's just say if we ate or something like that, if I was too tired and I didn't sleep and I had one of my bad nights like last night, I would have to take that when she would come. Ha ha ha, double entendre. See what I did there? Double entendre. But all in all, because of all this stuff and changing my diet and staying away from the garbage and junk, like I don't smoke or anything like that. I have my beers once in a while. You know, I drink red wine, which is also good for the ticker in your blood pressure, helps you to relax, all that good stuff. It's got flavonoids in it, which is good for your antioxidants. You know, doing all that kind of stuff, cooking my own meals. You know, I'll have macaroni and cheese once in a while and shit like that. I'll have like a frozen pizza once in a while. You know, but I cook all my meals here at home. So it's just the food you eat and what you take in is what reversed all that weight loss. I mean, the weight just peeled off of me. Oh, this dude's out of his mind. Not to make fun of this young kid that's outside, but he's what do they call that? Schizophrenic. And every time he walks his dog, he's talking to invisible people. I feel sorry for him. It's just funny because some of the things he does, he sounds like he's got Tourette's. And I try not to make fun of him or anything like that, but you can tell he's definitely schizophrenic because he doesn't have things in his ears. like the earbuds or anything like that. He's not talking to anybody. He's talking to his invisible friends. And he's loud. But at least I got that going for me, with the health-wise, with all the supplementation and stuff I take to try to be as young, look young, and stay young for as long as possible. Not to make fun of my boy fucking Shaky when he came over here last night. I don't want to end up like that with no teeth in my mouth or any of that stuff. No thanks. Yeah, I look at some guys that are my age, man, and they look like they're in their 60s. No, thank you. The whole trick behind it is to make your body do what it's supposed to do and give your body what it needs, not what it wants. It's just like your car. You need oil in your car. You need gas to power it up. Like if you want to watch TV, you need electricity to power it. Like they're just basic fundamental things that the body needs that you have to give it. And if you don't, that's where oxidative stress comes from, what they call. Why people get sick. I very rarely get sick. Is that a Paul Skeens hat? No, it's not. This is one of those hats that I got from that big Mitchell and Ness box. That's a Roberto Clemente Topps hat from a couple of years ago. When I opened up those, what was it, the 2024 Mitchell and Ness cards, I actually sold off a Ken Griffey. I sold off, I sold off a whole bunch of them hats. I can't remember now. I kept this one, and I kept the Mickey Mantle New York Yankees hat because I was chasing the Yankees hat, and I got lucky and I pulled it out of that one box here on the channel, as a matter of fact. The rest of them, except for this, I sold off. But, yeah, it's not a Paul Skeens hat. I only wear it because it matches this. I don't even wear this hat that often. It's very rare. I'll wear it around my apartment or if I'm wearing this particular t-shirt. I don't have many black and yellow things. And like I said, when I take them supplements, if there's one thing I do every day, except for today, I had to take a lot of it to clear up my head, is old-fashioned aspirin. Old-fashioned, straight-up aspirin. 1 or 2 a day. Good for the blood pressure, good to keep your blood thin, keeping the blood flowing, all that good stuff. As a matter of fact, I happen to have one of my shot glasses right there. I really should set myself up over here, so pardon me, folks. 1 acetyl L-carnitine, 1 EPA DHA, and you can't take too much of that stuff because it will give you a headache. That was one thing that I found out weeks and weeks and weeks ago. And I was actually overdosing on that stuff because what happens is your body starts to pump out what the hell's the name of that compound? And sometimes you could force your body to push out too much of it. What the hell is the name of that compound? Dopamine? I think it's called, yeah, dopamine. That's actually one too many. To put a couple of them potassiums back in there. Humnema for the blood sugar. I'm going to have to order some of this stuff soon because I'm starting to get to that point where I'm running low. But this is my routine. Oop. And I make sure I try to keep whatever bottles away that I've already pulled from so that this way I don't confuse them or double dip. Did you see? Yeah, I saw the comments. I read the comments. Now, this is one I intentionally double dose on, is the methylcobalamin for the neuropathy. I double up on the benfotiamine and the R-alpha lipoic acid. Just want to make sure. Okay. P5P, I actually take 3 times the dose, because that's good for the myelin sheath. That actually helps to repair your nerves. Calcium, zinc, and magnesium I take at the minimum dose. It recommends 3, so that's what I take. And then one more. P5P I already put in there. And then vitamin D3. So, in this case, because I haven't slept all night and the weather's been shitty and there's no sunlight, I'm going to take 2 of them. Because your body needs, and no hymns, because I already took it a couple days ago. And that's expensive shit. This stuff is like $400, man, for a bottle this size. Very expensive stuff. Technically, I should be prescribed that. I mean, my new eBay hustle comment. No, I didn't see it. Let me see. Too bad you can't get a supplement resale supply. You're very knowledgeable. Oh. I don't know, my man. You would think I'd work at a vitamin shop or something like that. Yeah, I mean, this is all, like I said, if you watch Dr. Berg, he's very knowledgeable with this stuff. There's actually a couple of YouTube content creators, but Dr. Berg, he's very fundamental with the way he explains things. Like, he's very punctual, very straightforward. It's not complicated, and he makes it very easy for you to understand. Be right back, folks. Let me put these away. Let me put this box away. I'll be right back. Let me turn on the ceiling fan here, because I can feel it's starting to get a little warm in here. All of this stuff counts, man. It all counts. Even the Gatorades I drink. Gatorade Zero, right there. I drink. Probably have to pay a tariff on those wiener pills. Actually, no, they're sold right here in the States. So, cheers. They've actually tested sildenafil on senior citizens that are suffering from memory loss and cognitive loss and failure. And studies have actually shown that there's a significant improvement in senior citizen men when they take that stuff. And it actually helps with the plaque and all that shit from dementia and Alzheimer's. It doesn't really stop it, but it basically slams the brakes on it from getting any worse. So you're kind of like, catching it before it happens, or before it gets worse. I wish my dad took that shit when he was alive. But my dad was very stubborn. I sent him all sorts of actually through Amazon and all that kind of stuff, and on eBay, I actually shipped him a whole bunch of stuff. And he would tell me, like, some of the alpha lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine I thought was the best for him. And he would say, yeah, I feel my brain tingling and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, that's good, because it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to help your brain heal, along with the fish oil I sent you. It's not fish oil, but, I called it fish oil for him, because he was not a technological guy. He didn't understand the terminology. It's that EPA and DHA, the algae-based stuff that I take. he's like, yeah, I can feel my brain tingling. Like, what's going on with this stuff? I said, well, Dad, it's brain food. That means it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to clear your head, make you think straight. But apparently, according to my mother, when he was alive, he only took it for a handful of times and never took it again. And it went to waste. My mother probably still has those bottles, if she hasn't thrown them away by now. Actually, she should be taking that stuff too. She's pushing 70 at this point. So, I can't believe we're getting more rain. This is the most rain I've seen down here probably since I first moved here years ago. What the hell time is it? Wow, it's 8:30 already. My God, man. Time just goes by like that. It really flies. I hate to say this, folks. I think I'm going to try to lay down and see if I can at least take a nap. Maybe at least get an hour or two of some shut-eye, man. I need it. I really need it. What are my plans for today? I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I have no idea. Whatever eBay orders I had, I got out the door. I'm waiting for 2 stragglers to pay for their orders. One of them says they're going to pay me Tuesday. The other one I haven't heard from yet. I'm going to press them again. It's now 3 days since they won the auction for them sneakers. And according to eBay's policy, they have to pay for them. They won them at auction. They must pay for them, or their accounts will get stricken or taken down or whatever they do. So that's like $100 that I don't have in my pocket yet. So we'll see what happens with that. Everybody else is paid up, but yeah, I just gotta wait, man. You know, and I talked about that, and I might make a separate video about that when I'm in a better mood, how I've noticed an uptick in my eBay customer base now, actually asking me, please give me a couple days, give me a couple extra days to pay. Because sometimes people have auto pay for I think it's 7 calendar days. Yeah, it's up to 7 calendar days they have to pay, not business days, calendar days. So some people have that set up, and others just have it set up for whenever they want. I liked your eBay and USPS rants. I haven't had any returns, surprisingly. I haven't had no issues, especially now that unfortunately the post office has raised rates and I've chosen to charge more for shipping of individual cards. I think now they're coming in at $1.11 or something like that, which is 4 cents more than what they were before. Unfortunately, I got no control over that. I mean, I could charge, what is it now, 82 cents or 83 cents? But I prefer to charge $1.11 because I know, at least for the time being, I haven't had any returns of any baseball cards at all, not one. So that's a good thing. And it seems all my cards have been delivered so far, which is good. I've had no complaints, no DMs on eBay, no nothing, which is good. But must be doing something right, I guess. But I should make a video talking about that for the masses. You know, because like I said, I've been getting people more and more, especially with the auctions outside of baseball card sales, you know, literally asking me, you know, can you lower the price? Can you do this? Can you give me a couple extra days of pay? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shit, man, that's a sign of the times. I never got it as much as I have at this point selling on eBay, where people are like literally at like almost to the point where it almost sounds like begging, you know. But I got to make my money too. I'm still waiting to see if that Mike Piazza jersey sells, the autograph one. The Harrison Bucker jersey, I'm waiting to see if that sells. That's up for auction. One of my Optimus Primes that I upgraded is up for auction. I still have to dig up the accessories for that Megatron that's sitting right there. I got to find the trailer for my Earthrise Optimus Prime because otherwise he's complete. I could sell that as is. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, I'm still making sporadic sports card sales here and there, but it's nowhere near what it was. It's not even close to where it was. I don't know. God damn it, Maria. I still can't believe this. No, it's not trolls. It's actually customers that did win auctions that are just asking for a little bit more time to pay because then eBay will enforce that on their own. If the customer doesn't pay, eBay will make them pay. If they don't pay, see what they've implemented now is when you win something in auction, they can't cancel it. They have to pay for it. And if they try to extort you for feedback, that negative feedback gets deleted immediately. They can't leave a negative feedback. And that way, eBay does defend sellers to do away with the shill bids and all that kind of stuff, which is a good thing. And I'm glad that they did that. I could probably recall one or two times where I've had somebody extort me for negative feedback, which is why I was at 99 point something percent. Now I got my 100% feedback rating back. But they have implemented the fact that if you do bid and you do win, you must pay, period. Otherwise, your account will be limited or will be terminated. And if they try to back out of it, I have the right to refuse. They have to pay for it. And they cannot leave me a negative feedback because they didn't pay. Or because I refused to say, that's okay, you don't have to pay for it, I'll just relist it. I have that right. At least eBay has done that. Has done that much. But this shit... Still can't believe it. Just like with Jenny and the rest of them. Can't wrap my brain around it. Even now, while I've been talking to you guys and gals out there for almost 2 hours now, I can't wrap my brain around it. It's not fucking fair. It really isn't. Here we go. Ugh. Maybe I should try to sleep for a little bit. I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. I can feel it like I'm starting to wear out. Even with them Red Bulls, I'm going to conk out. It's weird, sometimes caffeine has the opposite effect on you. You get that little bit of a buzz, and that's what's been keeping me going for the past hour and a half or so. But now the crash begins. So I bought myself a couple extra minutes, right? I just don't believe it. Can't wrap my brain around it. And it's not the first time it's happened. I'm going to try to lay down for a little bit, folks. You probably just emotionally and mentally worry. Yeah, I'm burnt out. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm thoroughly burnt out. I'm worn out. Even though I've tried to pick myself up again by doing my videos and my reviews and YouTube shorts and stuff, I can tell something like I'm not that arrogant to watch my own stuff, but sometimes, I kind of want to engage myself where I am, and I can tell like my videos are just not. That's probably why a lot of my videos aren't getting traction anymore, because I just don't have that ooze, that thing, the excitement and the happiness in it and stuff. I mean, when I do my toy reviews and my jersey reviews and stuff, like I did some Transformers reviews recently, I could tell like it's just not there, you know? It's just not there. You know, and I know I'm forcing it because in order to keep the channel alive, you have to keep making content. That's just the way YouTube works. But, you know, I know that it's just not fun. I should really keep this fucking blanket for myself. Just because, right? I'm looking at it. I got 3 or 4 velvet or felt blankets like this. Is your monetization still in review? Yeah, YouTube still has not monetized this channel. And I'm creeping up on 1,700 subs. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all. I applied for AdSense now 2 times since the inception of this channel, and still no monetization. Not at all. Not even an inkling. I did get a response for them. Oh, it's because they're so overwhelmed with reviewing channels to make sure they're advertiser friendly and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But right now, YouTube just seems to be in the middle of battling this AI nonsense, which I talked about. I had to submit my ID twice now just to make sure that I can pin my links in my description boxes to my eBay store and to the coffee link, which nobody except for Big Mama, who I'm surprised hasn't been around in a while, is the only one who's really donated to the channel. I'm not asking anybody. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying, you know, I should keep this fucking fleece blanket for myself, right? Still smells like fabric softener. You know, because I washed it in the machines. Still smells like fabric softener. And dryer sheets. I love that smell. I should just keep this. Fucking asshole. What an asshole, man. I really like... Man, I thought it was... I really thought it was different this time. I'm going to call it. So, guys, thank you again for the conversation. It's just, yeah, I hate to admit it. You know, behind the scenes, I am thoroughly burnt out. I'm burnt out. I'll try to get some reviews and YouTube videos and stuff like that going. But I clearly don't feel, I just don't have the feel for it. That's why I've been putting off so many reviews on the channel here, because I just don't feel it. I have to want to do it, and right now, I'm like a walking flat tire. That's how it feels. So I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to try to lay down and at least maybe sleep for an hour or 2. Let's see what happens, man. It's still early yet. It's not even 9 o'clock yet in the morning. Take care. Enjoy your Sunday. Maybe I'll live stream again tonight. Let me see how I feel. But for right now, I'm going to try to lay down and just hopefully maybe get an hour or 2 of sleep. So God bless you all. Take care. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you soon.